no pause on
Shut
you.
up, I'm trying to get better.
Air does not exist between
I do that when I'm editing my own shit, and I'm like, why do I not stop and breathe? If I could just breathe, it would be like a space to cut.
Right. Otherwise, you can always hear it on the edge. I'm just like, fucking, I'm leaving it. Because otherwise, it sounds like you're talking right before I'm sorry. Alright, ready? Also, be careful if you're picking up your drink, that's fine, but try not to shake it around or slam it.
That's me. You're not doing it.
Yeah,
I'm doing it.
She's doing it. Don't worry.
I do it all the time.
Me bitching at her.
And yours is plastic, ours is glass. Fine. Go ahead. Stop. Are we good for lecturing, Dorff?
Yes, we're good for lecturing. Okay. I should add that in, though. Alright.
And by the way, don't do this. Don't do this when people are talking because it's bad.
That's
You've been doing that the whole time.
Yes, you're bad.
Hi guys, welcome back to Scream Queen Stream. We're your hosts, Jessica Cameron and
Heather Dorff.
And I am so excited today because we have a wonderful guest, a woman I greatly admire and have a huge, tremendous respect for, not only as a wonderful actress, but also as a fellow YouTuber, Miss Monique Parent.
Very happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
And for the wonderful fan who's been kindly messaging me about once a month for the last 3 years, if you know Monique Parent, I can finally say, I do. I wasn't lying to you when I said I did not know her before. But now I know her, so you're welcome.
Or thank you, rather.
Thank you?
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Great advice. Mm-hmm. So, because it's Women in Horror Month, we're trying to showcase some of our favorite women in horror, and we felt it was a wonderful way to kick off the month of February with somebody who is such a valid, great, strong, independent, seasoned woman who's been titled the Thinking Man Sex Symbol, which I think is exactly how I would describe you.
Oh my god, that's awesome.
So if you think I'm sexy, then you have a brain. And if you don't, well, then obviously you don't. That easy.
And before we forget to mention, you should definitely follow this lovely lady on her YouTube channel, which will be linked down below. You will love her content as much as I do. It'll be your favorite part of your weekday.
For sure.
Thank you.
And she films a lot.
A lot.
I keep trying to make Dorff step up her game, filming with us.
You pay my rent and we'll figure that out. Alright. Well, I'm going to start off, so we're going to be asking you some questions. Just some horror film related and some just in general. So first is what inspired you to want to be an actress?
Oh, no other marketable skills. I am not good at much.
Okay, but okay. The acting is so hard. Like, it's hard to break into.
I did my first play when I was 10 years old.
Mm.
I started performing on stage when I was 3. I begged to be in ballet class, and I took dance classes from the time I was 3 on.
Okay.
And I loved performing. I loved becoming somebody else. I loved playing dress up. I still love playing dress up. I really haven't changed from when I was just a little girl. It's the exact same thing. And I just like, oh, you mean I can make a living at this?
Wait a second, you can make a living at this?
No, you
can't.
can't.
No, you can't.
Turns out you actually can't.
Quite
but everybody thinks you're rich.
Right?
I know. They're like, oh my god, you've been in some movies, you must be driving a Lambo.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
not so much.
I love my 2005 Mazda 3.
Yeah, right? It doesn't have air conditioning. And
Who needs air in LA? Completely
It never
overrated.
gets warm here.
yeah, not at all.
No.
Well, that's awesome, though. I'm similar to you. I started theater young, and it was just something I wanted to do. Little did I know how hard it actually is.
When people ask me if they're like, how should I break in? You know, how do I do it? Should I become an actor, or should my child become an actor?
Right.
It's like, don't do it unless you will die if you don't do it.
Right.
I mean, you do it because something in your soul dies when you're not doing it. But there has to be a need to do it, because it'll stomp on your soul and rip into your heart and pull it out and chew it up and spit out the remains.
Right, and it truly will. Your confidence and everything. So you have to just really believe in it.
You will get told every day that you were horrendous. Yeah. That you were ugly, that you were fat, that you were skinny, that you were tall, that you were short, that you were always to something. You were always wrong. You will be criticized so much. Don't go into it unless you love it.
Right. suddenly we're all rethinking. It's
We're
like, no, I do love it.
Great life choices.
So
We're gonna rename this episode "Why Not to Be an Actress."
Downers. And yet we love it.
No, I do.
I'm a big fan of being a realist too. Sometimes we're like, "You're depressed." I was like, "No, I'm a realist." It just means it's not. We don't win or succeed at doing anything if we don't acknowledge the difficulties around doing what we're going to do. We succeed when we fight to beat the odds when they are that difficult.
Yes.
And I think if you go into this thinking it's going to be all fun time and fairy tales, it's going to be a really short-lived career.
There's very little glamour.
True.
People think it's glamorous.
Yes, I think that's what it is.
You get that rare moment of glamour and you're like, this is awesome. And then you wake up the next day.
And you go right back to normal.
Right back to it. Who cleans the cat sandbox?
Yep.
But I mean, you have cats, which is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
They make life a better place. Adopt a cat if you're watching this.
Or a dog or 5 cats like her.
Or, you know, a raccoon. I had a pet raccoon for 10 years.
Oh, I love a pet raccoon. They're awesome.
I think a pet bat would be kind of awesome. I
Probably
mean, if I liked going out at night more,
Yeah.
I can see having a bat. That'd be
Yes.
cool. Like, this is my bat.
I was
He's
actually
just hanging on my arm because he's a bat.
Yes.
Side note, who thinks it'd be really fun for me to bring over a pet raccoon to Dorff's place?
No, don't you dare. Because knowing her, she'll find someone with a damn raccoon and scare the crap out of me with it.
By the
All right.
way, here's something you didn't think about. If you have a male raccoon in a cage all day, this animal has thumbs, what do you think they do all day?
Tap on the cage or try to get out?
Masturbate! Definitely masturbate!
No. Everybody would come over and say, oh, let me see your raccoon. Oh, I didn't need to see that.
So what you're saying is female raccoons make for better pets.
I would get a female raccoon. Unless you really like the little pocket rocket thing.
Who knew? This is like totally news to me, but that's disturbing and
Stuff
also
you
quite
never thought
hilarious.
about.
Yeah, never would have thought about
Random facts.
that. We're adding that to our list.
I recently read an article that said that you should learn 5 new things every day. So I feel like that's at least 2. They have thumbs, who knew? That's what they do with thumbs.
Yeah.
I have a lot more respect for them as an animal, though. Because I'm like, that I understand.
Next scene in Guardians of the Galaxy. Anyways.
James Gunn,
Just add it in.
Something to think about.
Add it in.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, next question. What has been your favorite scene to film of all time and why?
Oh boy.
I know, right? This is so fun on
These
these
questions are so hard. I hate this.
You
I mean-
made half of them.
Favorite scene? I loved my scene in the profane exhibit.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone will ever see it. I don't know if the movie will come out.
I thought it was already released with you both, right?
I know that there's a scene that there's a whole central thing that hasn't been shot. So I don't know if it's going to happen.
I'm wrong then. It's not
Yeah.
out yet.
I mean, from the original script. Now, maybe they've adapted and done things, but the way it was originally supposed to be, I don't know.
Okay.
But I loved my scene in that. I felt like it was really strong, and it really... I think it touched on a lot of female experiences, and I sort of... Within that scene, I had to kill a woman and bludgeon her to death with a sledgehammer. And it's a woman who's never killed before. And why does she do it? And I brought up all of the rage from mistreatment by every man throughout my life. And just, I was not a fun person to work with that day. Ryan Nicholson, I apologize. I was not a fun person to work with. You know why. Because I had to bring up all of that. And I did a monologue that may or may not be in the film. It was completely improvisational. And I told them, I'm like, I need to do this to get from A to B.
Right.
I can't just swing a sledgehammer and kill somebody. I have to have a reason for it. And I think it's I'd love to see it. I've never seen it. I would love to see that scene. So it lives in my brain. Whether it's as good in reality as what I imagine, who knows?
I don't know. I think usually when you pull scenes from that kind of inspiration and you get to that place, they are good because they're real.
I feel like there was a
very
lot
real.
of truth.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're so based in truth. And I just want to touch on a point though too. I've noticed sometimes on some sets, it depends, But when you have to get to a really dark place and cry or like bawl and just lose your crap, and people don't understand like why right after the scene you aren't like, la, everything's fine. It's like because in order to get to that place, you have to think about, you know, the worst moments of your life to get you there. Otherwise,
yes,
you can't get there.
There is a still from that shoot, and there is only one image like this. And I'll see if I can get it to you.
Yeah.
I was standing there, and I told everyone ahead of time. I'm like, look, I snap out of it really quick. I go into a dark place, but if you say, hey, are you okay? I'll be like, oh, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I lose all of it. So it's really hard for me to stay in that dark place, so please just don't talk to me.
Yeah.
Don't ask if I'm okay. We can deal with all of that niceness later.
Right.
So I told her, and we were waiting, and I just, you know, they were setting up another shot, and I'm just standing and like keeping in that contained space, dripping with blood.
Right.
And I could feel the still photographer right here,
getting
snapping.
shots.
And I literally looked up and just gave him a look like, don't you fucking speak to me, don't you fucking get in my way. I am focused.
Right.
And I just looked at him, and then I dropped my eyes back down, and that's the one image. And I think it's a really strong image because there's so much anger in my eyes.
You definitely said that to me. I'm curious.
We'll put it up on the screen if we see it.
Yes, we shall. All right, so next question. What is the craziest moment or situation that you've witnessed or been involved with on a film set? Don't have to say what film, don't have to say...
Define crazy.
I mean, like, for example, we had a major location for a feature film cancel 3 days before we were supposed to be there, and we have all the film crew.
It wasn't their fault.
It wasn't their fault. It was an emergency.
We were... I'm going to say I can say this. We were shooting on a military training facility.
Yeah.
Because I knew people who knew people, and they were wonderful. But there was like a 1% chance that if there was a level, like the highest level of threat to America, that they would cancel any pedestrian or like non-military person, and they would need the entire place for training and like emergency procedures. And I was assured that would be like 99% never happen. But it happened. So of course it happened like 3 days before film.
And we're out there with all of our crew, cast, we're already filming. We need a location. This is a major location.
We needed a hospital to have the run of.
So basically me and Jess were up all night in the middle of, where were we, Ohio or Kentucky? We were in Cincinnati. Messaging everyone we know in the Midwest, trying to find a location. Right. And it's just insanity. And I mean, you know, things like that can happen. And then, you know, I've been pulled out of it. We were doing stunt stuff, and I've had a wolf spider with 1,000 babies near my head during a scene. Nice. It's great. Yeah. I mean, it really added to the fear because I wanted to end the death factor. I thought I was going to die. So you never know.
One of the things I love about independent filmmaking is that
there's
always something. I've been asked, like, I was on one film and they wanted a close-up of my hand firing a gun.
Right.
They gave me a gun with a live round.
Oh, God.
And they wanted me to fire it into the air.
And it kicked back.
I refused to do it.
Oh, yeah.
You don't know where that bullet's coming down.
And side note, you should refuse to do
no,
it.
That's absolutely
Bullet,
true. Especially if they want this way. Even if you go this way, you don't know.
You don't know. It's coming down somewhere. I mean, if you shoot straight up, if you shoot this way, it's coming down somewhere, and you don't know. Sorry, right?
Oh no,
you don't know what that where is,
right.
And I would hate to be responsible for it injuring somebody,
or a dog,
a child, an animal. I mean, we were out in the middle of nowhere. Most likely, it wasn't going to come down on anyone, but I don't want that responsibility. I'd like to go to my grave.
Right.
Without actually killing somebody.
Yes.
Or like a bird or a bat.
You don't know. Just anything. Honestly, it's not worth it. And also, truthfully, kickback. If you're not used to shooting a firearm, like, you can smack yourself right in the face and hurt yourself.
Am I the only one? I don't want to touch a live weapon.
every
Like,
time
ow.
every time a weapon is put in my hand on every location, every film, and I've done 128 films.
Yeah.
They hand me a weapon. I'm like, I've never held one before. Show me how it works.
Yeah, right.
Because I don't have to prove anything.
Right.
Everyone feels like they have to prove, like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm smart. I'm like, I don't have to prove anything. You teach me this 100%. I don't have to prove that I'm cool.
Right. I would much rather
Show
not
me.
make a mistake. Or
Don't
hurt
want to
someone
make a
or
mistake.
Yeah. Definitely shooting a live round in an open environment, not monitored situation, without any previous experience in shooting a live weapon is pretty crazy.
So I did it once. And ironically, it was
For
on
a film?
Yeah, for a short. I know, right? We all know. I'm not a big fan of shorts, so the fact that I did something for a short. Here's the thing. I'm a pro short if you're doing it for motivations other than rich and famous, because we all know you're not going to get rich or famous off a short. Or an independent film or movie making and all. But that being said, it was my favorite DP, one of the first shorts I'd ever done. I showed up to set, and they had a weapon. They did have a weapon stack, and to be fair, I was shooting into a giant pile of sandbags and leaves.
Okay.
But still, I don't think I'd ever do it again. But also, you can see, because I can't, I'm holding a live weapon. I'm not comfortable. So you can see, like,
You
my
can see
character
it.
is supposed to be, like,
Super
completely in charge. Like,
confident.
take that shooting, a person.
I am
right, and how they
so
shot it, but
confident
I'm like,
with a rubber gun.
Yeah.
Right?
Of a
I am
real
like
gun.
and also I have every faith that, like, if I was, like, taking down an intruder or something and I got a weapon, I would shoot him. But, like, give me a gun shooting a pile of leaves and sandbags, I'm like, it's the least convincing. Even Josh, I was like, how is he? He's like, it's horrible, but whatever. We only have X amount of takes we can give you. But I'm like, oh my god, please don't kill someone. Tell me there's no no burrowing rectum.
I don't want to
and
think about a squirrel in there.
Yeah.
I like it black. Yeah, so never again.
Right. Well, there you go. Don't
I did
give us-
shoot once in a men's sex club that specialized in water sports.
Don't all men's sex clubs specialize in
That was fragrant.
I just love that they have live and like guns for shooting as well. This is the most random. Where was this at?
It's in Glendale.
Okay.
Dorff's like, we need to go.
Yeah, I can drive you there.
Our next episode, randomly going in this place and shooting weapons in a sex club.
Or I'll just be like, hey, Dorff, meet me at this place. Go there. Go inside. It'll be
yeah,
inside.
she
It's gonna
won't
be
tell me.
fine.
Yeah.
Trust me, nobody's gonna touch you.
Yeah, right at all. Oh god, that's scary. Okay, your turn. Your question.
Okay. So, the industry is changing so much. How do you stay so relevant?
I'm not relevant. I'm not even the least bit relevant.
I don't know if that is true.
I
have your.
I think you listen, you adapt, you change. Things change. I think that a lot of actors stagnate. They stay the same all the time. I went gray when I was 17, and I started coloring my hair at an early age. So I looked the same for many years.
Yeah.
And a year or so ago, I decided to stop coloring my hair. And everyone said, no, you need to keep coloring your hair so you look young. And my thought was, I've played the same part for 30 years. I would like to be something different. I would like to play something different.
Right.
And coloring my hair is not going to change that. And I think that's how you stay relevant, is that you are willing to change and grow. Even if, having gray hair does not help your dating life. FYI.
What?
Just in case you wondered. But you've got to keep evolving and keep changing. And, I like to think that if I were in a horrible disfiguring accident, I would then use that in my acting.
Okay, that makes sense. But it's true about life, though, too, right?
Yes.
We cannot remain the same.
You cannot
If
remain
you
the
do,
same.
you do not grow. You do not learn. You change is what life is literally about. And as you get older, you're supposed to wisdom, the whole thing.
I'm of a generation where there was a time when we permed our hair really curly and we spray painted we sprayed our bangs straight up in the front from all hair, and we thought that was good. Should I have stayed in that style, or was it good that I evolved to another style?
So true. Can you imagine a bunch of like 80s or something, you know, like still freaking
Permed
doing
hair
that
and the bangs up here.
with the underwear that like comes
Oh,
over
yeah.
the hips or whatever? Oh my
Oh,
god,
no.
it's just great.
There was the time when back in the 80s when we wore our jeans so tight you had to lay down to zip them up.
Oh my god. Well, there's still
They
a bit
didn't
of
have
that now.
thongs then,
Okay.
so you had to wear pantyhose under your skin tight jeans.
You know what? My mom actually, well, she
Mm-hmm.
swore that's how she didn't have varicose veins. She's like, because I had to wear pantyhose my whole damn life. She's like, that's how I have no varicose veins. Just
around.
wear
I feel like that's not
pantyhose.
scientifically accurate, but whatever.
She just swore because she didn't have one, and most women do
That's
get
luck.
them, especially
It's
I know
genetics.
It is genetics, but she was
Side
like,
note, if you're
she
dating
didn't
a
wear
dwarf.
underwear. She got good jeans to do pantyhose, whatever. But either way, that was her thing. I always wore underwear. She always wore pantyhose. I'm like, why are you doing that? That's why. Because the jeans were too tight.
The
Interesting.
jeans were way too tight.
Thank you so much for checking out Scream Queen Stream. We hope you loved it as much as we do.
If you want to see more of our videos, check out our YouTube page. And while you're there, how about you subscribe? You want to see more? Just tweet us. Find us on Facebook. Join in on the fun.
And most importantly, if you really want to join us on this crazy ride, check out our Patreon page and become a patron for amazing, awesome perks that we give out monthly.
As well as early access to all of our videos.
Free giveaways,
And a whole lot more fun shit.
so check it out.
We'll see you there.
Stay bloody.
You stole my tagline.
I did.
You're a horrible friend.